Hey everyone, how's it going? Shuffle's back here with another video, and we are going to be doing another The Best video. Today is going to be The Best Tenebria. She has her banner up right now if you are summoning for her and you want to know you should build her and why, you are in the right place. So let's jump over to the game. Actually, a reminder before we start, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you like these videos. Also, if you want to see a different unit featured, or if you have a unit that you think is one of the best of that particular character in the game, make sure you can either send me a PM, post it in Discord, or let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, let's jump over and just see what we can do with Tenebria here. So, Tenebria, whoa, why is my screen all skewed? It's weird. It's not too far off, but just like a tiny bit. Let's fix that. There we go. All right. So Tenebria is a unit that you don't really see too much in RTA, but we're going to try and make an RTA build for her today. You can use her in many locations. She's good in Raid. She's good in all PvE. She does have... Actually, let's look at her... We'll look at her skills first. She got a defense break on her skill 3, which is what most people think of when they think of her kit. Here's her skill 3. With skill ups, 85% chance each to decrease defense for 2 turns, sleep for 1 turn, and grants herself attack for 2 turns. Then her skill 2 is an AoE decreasing speed for 2 turns and decreasing enemy CR for 2 turns. That's AoE as well. And then her skill 1 with a 65% chance to sleep. Mine's not maxed. It does max out at 70% chance to sleep. And when it does land, it gives her 50% CR when she sleeps the target, which means she can cycle insanely fast. The gear I have on her is terrible, and she has no imprints, but you don't see a lot of her in RTA, and because of which I couldn't find any that had like a really insane, crazy, over-the-top build for her. So we're going to try and build our own. This is sort of the direction I want to lean in. But let's see if we can find better gear for her. Ideally, stuff that is. We're looking for tanky, we're looking for high effectiveness, and we're looking for speed. So we're going to go speed. We're going to go effectiveness. And then in terms of gear, it kind of depends on the team you're going to run her with. If you're going to run her with a pure control team, you don't need to necessarily go immunity because you're counting on going first. For the sake of the video, we're trying to make the best unit we can make. So we're going to go ahead and give her immunity gear as well as a speed set. So first piece we're going to look at here is this one. Trying to make her really fast with HP substats and high effectiveness. This is a great piece for her. You can't get defense on the weapon, so this is kind of what we're looking for in an ideal situation. This is too much damage. Something like this is kind of bruisery. You could also go something like this if you'd like to go in between. I don't think she needs... I don't know if you would want to use a piece that's this fast on somebody like her. So we're going to try and steer clear of some of your speed gear. Because obviously if you put your best speed gear on her, you could make her better. But in all reality, you're never going to do that. So let's take Sage's weapon. We'll put that on him. On her, I mean. That's absolutely perfect. High speed, high effectiveness, high HP. Now this piece, we are looking for sort of the same thing, except ideally some defense on there with the HP, speed, and effectiveness. That one's got res, that one's got res. That's my second dock slots. So this one has crit rate. You could go crit rate on her if we wanted to give her like crit rate substats. I think for the purpose of what we're trying to do, I kind of want HP and defense if possible to go with the effectiveness. Seem to be having a hard time finding both. We might have to search by HP and defense instead of HP and effectiveness. Oh, we're going by speed and effectiveness. So we don't even have HP or defense on there. All right, let's change our sort priority. Basically, we want her to be really tanky, but we also want her to be fast. This would be good, except it's got res instead of effectiveness. And this one has flat defense instead of effectiveness. This one was actually quite good, but no speed on it. That being said, with the new Reforged stuff, that could come into play later on. Speed, HP, crit damage. One's got attack. There you go. This is a nice one. So this one has no crit rate, but it's got speed, high HP, high effectiveness, high defense. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Moving on, these Hell Raid pieces don't have effectiveness, so for her in particular, I would skip them. But again, we are looking for HP defense. Ideally, in this case, with speed and effectiveness. We're going to skip over all these Hell Raid pieces. This piece is actually kind of perfect on her. You might want a little more effectiveness, so we might come back and change that one at the end. But for now, nice piece. I don't see any immunity pieces that we would potentially use. All the immunity pieces are like Hell Raid-ish. That one had no effectiveness. Yeah, so we are gonna have to find some immunity gear to make this work. Now this we can do whatever we want. We can go HP, or we can go effectiveness, or we can go defense. Let's start by doing this. This one has speed, defense, and effectiveness, all good. This one has really high effectiveness. Probably our best option, because it also has 11 speed. We could go an effectiveness ring, but because we're trying to use her in RTA, I prefer not to, if at all possible. Oh, sorry, we're on. That was a neck anyway, not the ring. Let's do the same thing here. I'm gonna switch this over to defense though, as defense definitely scales better later on. Speed and effectiveness, but not great substats. Speed, HP, effectiveness, all good rolls on this one on a defense piece, and it fills our immunity need. So let's do that. And now all we need now is a pair of speed boots. We'll go HP and effectiveness. Hope we can find one with a defense sub. It's got a flat defense sub, but the other two stats are really good, so we might even go with that one. But this one's better. High HP, high defense, high effectiveness. Really nice there. And there you go. So that brings us up to 16k HP, 1600 defense, 16k HP, 234 speed, with 110 effectiveness. Again, you could definitely make a case for her not needing immunity. You could put her on a hit set. You could potentially switch this to a hit set as well. We could make her slower depending on how fast your strips are. You could make her slower and with crazy high effectiveness if you wanted to do that. There's lots of ways you could build her. In the end, my recommendation, if you're going to use her, is just make sure she's speed tuned. Make sure she has some tanky substats, and tanky main stats too, for that matter. And make sure she has high effectiveness. If you're using her in a full control comp, you're going to want way more effectiveness. You're going to want her like 200 effectiveness. If you're going to run her in a bruiser comp, you would probably want her more like this. If you wanted to go full effectiveness, you could get her up well over 200 effectiveness if you wanted to. It kind of is all going to come down to what team you're running, what speeds you're running, what your intention is with her realistically. I like her really fast. If you can get her up around that 230, 240, 250 range, that's really nice because when she sleeps with her skill 1, she's going to cycle that much faster. So having this kind of tankiness with that kind of speed is really, really nice. Alternatively, if you just wanted to go pure effectiveness and make sure she lands her stuff, which I don't really recommend, mainly because let's switch this. We'll go speed here and effectiveness main. The reason I don't really recommend it is because it's kind of difficult to. How much speed was on that? Hold on. 8 speed? Good enough. It's funny that my res piece from Ray is highest effectiveness. Here, let's go speed. And then we'll go. That's kind of slow. But that's kind of going to be the sacrifice you're going to make if you go trying to go speed gear or trying to go effectiveness with or super high effectiveness with speed. You can do that. And that. We'll switch this to effectiveness. You can tell where most of my speed effectiveness gear is right now, and I'm not even using her. But yeah. So there's a completely different option. If you wanted to make sure you land all your there's no there's no immunity. Do we have speed immunity? There. So now you're up to 160 effectiveness with 233 speed, significantly less defense, but you've still got some HP in there. You're hoping the fight's not going to last too long anyway. You could run something like this, would be another option. I'm sure we could optimize her a little bit more, but that's kind of the direction you're going in. Um, Realistically, though, she's a unit that doesn't need your best gear. So that's part of the reason why I had a hard time finding somebody with like the best Tenebria, because she's not someone you throw your best gear on. She just doesn't need it. She just needs to land her debuffs and get out of the way. You could build her on damage, but not a lot of people build her on damage for RTA. You could do it and catch people off guard, and I'm sure it would work. But this is the most universally accepted build currently for high level RTA. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped kind of push you guys in the right direction in terms of how you're going to gear Tenebria if you want to use her. If you are using her, let me know down below. Maybe give me some sort of ideas of team comps as to how you're going about using her, how you're making her work. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and we will see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye for now, guys.